Here's why Lost Planet 2 is such an underrated and awesome game. When Lost Planet 2 released in 2010, it was met with mixed reviews, mainly due to its sharp departure from the first game's tone and structure. Critics often highlighted its fragmented storytelling and punishing difficulty curve, but what many missed was how ambitious and ahead of its time it truly was. Beneath its flaws lies an exhilarating, team-focused third-person shooter that offered a level of scale, customization, and sheer fun that few other titles could match in its generation. The game may not have aligned with conventional design philosophies of the era, but that's exactly what made it special. One of the most compelling aspects of Lost Planet 2 is its commitment to spectacle. Capcom didn't just create large enemies, they created massive, biomechanical behemoths that took full squads to bring down. These encounters were not only visually arresting but mechanically intricate, demanding coordinated teamwork and an understanding of the game's mechanics. The scale of the bosses, coupled with the variety of environments, from jungles to deserts to industrial wastelands, offered a sense of planetary sprawl and scale rarely seen in shooters. The game's 4-player co-op was its beating heart. Unlike many shooters that tacked on multiplayer features as afterthoughts, Lost Planet 2 was designed from the ground up for cooperative play. Each mission felt like a high-stakes expedition with shared resources, revives, and team scoring reinforcing the importance of synergy. The inclusion of friendly fire and shared thermal energy added to the intensity, forcing players to communicate and move with intent. In a landscape where solo campaigns often dominate, Lost Planet 2 dared to make cooperation essential. Customization in Lost Planet 2 was incredibly deep for its time. Players could tweak their characters' appearances, select from a wide range of weapons, and unlock various abilities that altered their playstyle. These elements weren't just cosmetic or superficial. They genuinely impacted performance, allowing players to specialize as medics, heavy weapons experts, or mobile scouts. The game encouraged experimentation and mastery, rewarding those who took the time to understand its layers. Another area where the game shines is its mech, vital suit, integration. Unlike other titles where mech gameplay can feel bolted on or slow, Lost Planet 2 made its vital suits feel like an extension of the player. Each suit had its own movement style, armament, and tactical advantage. Whether stomping across a battlefield in a missile-laden war machine or boarding a high-speed hover suit, players were constantly shifting between on-foot and mech combat. This interplay made every battle dynamic and exhilarating. The storytelling, though criticized for its disjointed structure, was actually a bold attempt at non-linear narrative design. Rather than following a single protagonist, Lost Planet 2 told its tale through the perspectives of various factions across the planet EDN3. This structure created a mosaic of viewpoints, giving players insight into the geopolitical conflicts and environmental catastrophes shaping the world. While it lacked a traditional narrative arc, the approach was immersive in its own right, more akin to anthology storytelling than a hero's journey. Visually, the game still holds up remarkably well. Capcom's MT Framework engine delivered lush environments, dense foliage, and highly detailed character models. Explosions, particle effects, and weather conditions added to the chaos and realism of each encounter. Even by today's standards, Lost Planet 2 impresses with its design ambition and the sheer volume of action it throws on screen without compromising performance. Musically, the game employed a sweeping and cinematic score that heightened the intensity of its large-scale encounters. The orchestral arrangements lent emotional weight to the missions, turning what might otherwise have been routine objectives into dramatic events. Combined with the booming sound effects and chaotic battlefield chatter, the audio design fully immersed players in the alien world. In terms of gameplay mechanics, Lost Planet 2 had a high skill ceiling. Movement wasn't as fluid as some contemporaries, but it offered tactical depth through grappling hooks, active reloads, and diverse weaponry. Learning the quirks of each weapon, the nuances of thermal energy management, and the optimal paths through the environment required time and patience. This challenge was part of the game's charm. It didn't hold your hand, but it rewarded dedication. Online multiplayer deserves a special mention. While not as popular as more mainstream titles, it offered a unique blend of mech versus infantry combat, objective-based modes, and chaotic free-for-alls. The maps were massive, the weapons distinct, and the progression system allowed for genuine expression and skill growth. For those who gave it a chance, Lost Planet 2's multiplayer was a sandbox of experimentation and thrilling unpredictability. What also sets the game apart is its refusal to be just another shooter. Capcom took risks, with its structure, its mechanics, and its identity. It didn't follow trends, it created its own path, leaning into over-the-top sci-fi cooperative gameplay, and enemy encounters that felt more like raids than firefights. In many ways, it was the anti-Call of Duty of its time, weird, ambitious, and deeply replayable. Its shortcomings, mainly the lack of proper single-player AI support, cryptic objectives, and inconsistent difficulty, are real, but they're often overemphasized. These issues pale in comparison to the game's ambition, creativity, and innovation. With the right team, Lost Planet 2 transforms into an unforgettable cooperative adventure, a test of strategy and reflexes wrapped in an unapologetically wild sci-fi skin. Ultimately, Lost Planet 2 is a rare gem that didn't get the recognition it deserved. It asked more of players, gave them more in return, and dared to do something different in an increasingly formulaic genre. Its blend of epic battles, deep customization, and multiplayer-first design make it a game well worth revisiting. Time has been kind to it, and in the current age of live-service fatigue and homogenized shooters, its individuality stands out more than ever. Conclusion: Lost Planet 2 is awesome because it refused to play it safe. It carved its own niche through unapologetically grand-scale, robust co-op gameplay, and a world brimming with identity. For those willing to look past its imperfections, it's an unforgettable experience that deserves far more appreciation than it ever received.